First of all, you need to understand React. If you're a visual learner, go to the React docs and find the Learn React section. Only use that to understand React. You'll do the actual learning later. If you're more hands-on, go to the Next.js docs and follow the React tutorial section by section to understand it. This method is better than any YouTube video or course, so don't feel like you're missing out on anything. By the way, nobody uses just React. It's literally in the docs, so you should choose a React framework. If you're investing in the long game and have time to spare, go with Next.js, but if you want the easy and simple way to learn React, go with Vite. At this point, the fastest way to learn React is just to build a website. What I'd recommend doing is copying someone else's portfolio and slightly altering it to make it your own website. I've left a link in the description to a massive portfolio list that you can pick from yourself. Copying will save you time from thinking about design and allow you to just focus on learning React itself. And also, most developers do this anyway, so don't worry too much about this. Find a few good websites that you like, take the parts that you like from them, and copy them to make them yours. Also, I'd recommend making this your portfolio website so that you actually care about what you're building, and thus you probably learn more in the process. A lot of developers also complain about using AI. I would ignore them and just use it anyway. It's the best teacher out there right now. If you need additional libraries, I would use Motion for animation, Lucide for React icons, ShadCN if you want pre-made components, and SVR if you're working with APIs and data fetching. If you're still using vanilla CSS, now's a great time to swap to Tailwind. Make sure you have Tailwind installed and then use the Tailwind docs to find vanilla CSS and then swap it over to its Tailwind class name. You'll want to have the docs open for your first website as you build this, and eventually you'll have it memorized and you won't even need them. If you don't already have a solid understanding of JavaScript, go ahead and just skip TypeScript for now. It'll make things far too complicated. If you do have a good understanding of JavaScript, now is also a great time to add TypeScript. If this is your first non-vanilla website, I would avoid focusing too much on file structure. As you build more of the website out, you'll learn your own preference for file structure so you can do that in your next website. If you ever find yourself copy-pasting code you don't understand, even if you think you do understand it, or you go through it and slowly try to figure out what's going on inside the code, you probably still don't fully understand what's happening. What I would do is find a way to use that concept in a different part of your website so you can reintegrate it into your brain and actually understand it. I found that a lot of bugs only showed up after I deployed my website, so I'd recommend getting it deployed as soon as possible to find other bugs. If you want a recommendation for a hoster, I would go with Vercel just because it's free. You're probably going to run into a lot of terminal issues as you build your React website. The best way to solve this is just to run the error through AI and then document how you fixed it in your README. Make sure you include every single step you use to solve the problem in your README, and then that way if you ever run into the problem again, you'll know what to do. Once you've fully built out your React website, you're going to want to focus on SEO. There's a lot of React stuff that you won't touch on until you get to the SEO side of it, so this will round out your learning. Alright, to end this video, I'm going to give you actionable steps right now that you can use to learn React. First, you're going to want to understand React from the React and Next.js docs. Then you're going to want to actually learn React by building your first website. And finally, you're going to decide what tools you're going to use on your React website. Don't overthink it, just build it. If you appreciated this guide, just let me know in the comments.